Lawyers of Reddit, has any client ever made you go, how the fuck am I supposed to defend you? And if so, how did it go?
In a recent case, the father was arguing that he wanted additional visitation and joint custody, which had previously been granted solely to the mother. The judge asked the father a whole host of questions about his kid. Who is his teacher? Who is the school principal? Who is his pediatrician? When was the last time he went to the doctor? Dude didn't know anything, but said it was because the mother hadn't told him. Mother knew all answers and had text messages to prove that she'd offered any and all information to the father, and he responded by cursing her out, telling her not to text him unless he asks a question about the kid. Not only did he not get joint custody, his visitation was reduced to whatever the mother wanted, since he admitted that he refused to give their kid a prescribed medication when he had him because the father had decided he didn't need it, so he'd just throw it away, causing the mother to have to get more if she sent it with her son. The father was the only one in the room who was surprised.
It's a toss-up between the one who called the judge a to her face and the one who didn't show up for a hearing because, while out on bail, he got arrested in the next county over and was in their lockup at the hearing time.
Custody case. He accused her of using coke all the time, which made her an unfit mother. She defended herself. Your Honor, I have never used in my life, and I wouldn't. I only smoke crack. Case closed.
The client who said they didn't speak English, so we had to get an interpreter. When asked questions, the client kept answering in English and the interpreter would have to stop and ask again and then answer in the language. Long, confusing deposition to say the least. The client spoke better English than anything.
2 guys were being tried for robbing a gas station. A customer who saw the robbery was now on the witness stand. The prosecutor asked him to describe what he saw. The witness said that he saw 2 guys robbing the store, and while running out, one of them bumped into him. Then the prosecutor turned towards the 2 defendants and asked, "Are those 2 men in the courtroom today?" At which point, the 2 idiots raised their hands. I'm sure the defense lawyer thought, how the f am I supposed to defend you now?
I'm a paralegal, although I'm in IT now, but previously I was in other areas. Well, in court, the case before ours at the time was for theft and was going on much longer than it should have. Defense lawyer calls for a motion to dismiss, claiming lack of evidence. Judge says he will entertain said motion after lunch, hits gavel, says court will reconvene at 1 p.m., court dismissed. Defendant stands up and says real loudly, "Told you I could get away with stealing that." He thought his case had been dismissed.
I'm a criminal defense guy, so I have had plenty. Most infuriating one was a guy that got busted for selling rocks to a confidential informant. The CI was wired for sound and video, so the whole transaction is crystal clear. Plus the cops ID'd his car as the one that drove up the scene, and he was stopped a couple of hours later with the buy money in his possession. Serial numbers were recorded. He had 3 prior convictions for cocaine sales. The prosecutor offered him 5, which was the mandatory minimum. He absolutely declined to even consider a plea, insisted on a jury trial, insisted on taking the stand and telling a ridiculous story about how it wasn't him in the video. There wasn't any doubt. I felt like Lionel Hutz trying to string together a closing argument with a straight face. He got 20 years.